Man, well, I was gonna say what's up, what's happening, but you know, everybody got their tunes on. But man, what's happening? You already know who it is. If your first time tuning in, it's your boy Q Walker with He Said, She Said. And I got my compadres, my constituents. I got the beautiful, curvaceous, intelligent, open-minded, opinionated Chrissy J, right-hand woman, Chrissy J in the building. Go introduce yourself.
What's going on?
See, I tag team with me today.
No, he my back today.
That's cool. Don't worry about it. That's cool. So go introduce yourself for the people one time one time.
Listen, we're in 2021. It's your girl Chrissy J. I'm on my way with all them facts.
Y'all them facts. Bars. And then over here we got my other compadre to my far right. You know what I'm saying? The intelligent, the smooth talking, goes down straight like Hennessy, Jarvis JT, aka Theodore. Go introduce yourself, my guy.
Man, I think that was good enough, man.
This guy. But anyway, man, we wanted to talk about the events that happened last Wednesday, January the 6th, where you had a bunch of how can I word this?
I'm trying to share it now.
A bunch of people who stormed the Capitol based on
thugs.
I was trying to we had a bunch of thugs and terrorists who
domestic terrorism
who stormed the Capitol last week based off of Donald Trump's words. So what we're gonna do today, and please feel free to chime in. We want to hear your thoughts, views, and opinions about this. We're gonna go through the timeline of events that happened that whole day, starting off with 45, because I ain't calling his name. Starting off with 45's press conference that he had or whatever. He said, and I quote, "Our country has had enough," 45 said. "We will not take it anymore, and that's what this is all about. To use a favorite term that all of you people really came up with, we will stop the steal." When he was finished, supporters headed to the Capitol building. Man, so first and foremost, before we get into everything, when this was going on, as everything was transpiring, Jarvis, where was you at? Because you know this is going to be one of those "where were you" moments in history of life. So where were you at when this was going on?
Where was I at? I think I was at the house. I think I was working from home.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, and I just remember seeing it, you know, basically as it was gradually going, and as it was gradually going. I mean, you could see the tension keep building. But yeah, I was at the crib.
You was at the crib.
What about y'all?
I was at the spot too. I was at the crib, and it's crazy because I was watching it, but it's like I'm watching it, but I'm like, what are they talking about? At the Capitol,
I know.
And then you start seeing people climb walls. You're like, wait a minute, what is going on? Like,
oh man.
So yeah.
Myself, man, I was at work, so I really couldn't tune in and keep up with the timeline of events that was going on. All I had to do was peep into social media and see what was going on. Let's see, Tasha, she said he's crazy. There's nothing else I can even say about that clown. Man, look. Please feel free. This is a no judgment zone right here. Whatever you got to say, get it off your chest. So let's go ahead and go through this timeline of events real quick. So we got Trump's 11 a.m. rally. So did y'all see it when the rally first took place? Were y'all able to tune in when it first started jumping off?
I don't think I didn't see that until after they started posting because of the Capitol. They started bringing it up. I was seeing bits and pieces, but I didn't take the time out to really watch the rally because he wasn't talking about nothing. But at least I.
Yeah, because from what I understand and I think about it, he had tweeted something, I think weeks prior.
Oh, in December.
And
said it's gonna be wild. Be ready.
Be wild and be ready.
Yeah.
And then the thugs and the terrorists, domestic terrorists, they showed up and showed out. So before we continue on the timeline of events, Chrissy, when you saw people scaling the walls, what was your initial thoughts? Super Mario Brothers.
Listen, what was my initial thoughts is, and I'm gonna be white privilege.
White privilege.
I mean, I'm telling you, that is the first thing that came to my mind, other than what the hell is going on? White privilege, because I'm looking at the fact that they scaling the walls, and I look at Black Lives Matter where they got tear gassed, and I don't even know if they touched the grass.
I don't even think they did. I really don't even think they did. So it started at 11, and then it went 1:10 p.m. Rioters began grappling with police on the Capitol steps. JT, man, what's your thoughts when you hear something like that, man?
Grappling.
Just to hear the word
grappling.
Come on, man. Man, it's just like Tina said, man. It one at 11, I didn't even pay attention to it because if I see something come up that says, Trump giving I don't even pay attention to it.
Right.
Like for real. Like I'll wait till, it's always something controversial and then if it's posted somewhere, then I may just see, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not watching a whole hour of him talking about nothing. But when I just had seen the tension building up and I'm like, man, where are people who are supposed to be stopping this? Where's National Guard? Where's all this? And you seeing all these people. And it's just like Tina said, the amount of privilege that they get to where nobody, one, a lot of these people were armed, right? So in a lot of, Black Lives Matter protests or any other protests that you can see across the world or across our nation, like most protesters are not armed with heavy assault rifles, right?
Pipe bombs.
Yeah, pipe bombs, all that. So to see that and to see there not be, any, real force there to stop them, I already knew like they were already enabled at 11, obviously from whatever he had said. And then to walk down there to try to be a threat to the people who are inside certifying the election, just took it to a whole nother level. Like,
listen, when we say, and that's one thing that we gotta look at, when we say they stormed the Capitol, they breached the Capitol, they didn't breach shit.
No,
they were let in.
Yeah,
this was all. You can't breach something when they opening the gates and telling you to come on in.
Yeah, breach is something that is heavily guarded, and you storm it and you breach it. But man,
so let's get that. Let's get that straight.
Let's
get that out there.
And then it's crazy that, and man, I know a lot of man. First of all, this is a touchy subject, so it's whatever. But because people, feel a certain way about 45 and Joe Biden and Miss Harris, but the thing is that 45 has so many followers that worship his word. So whatever he says goes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's the crazy part about it, is he can indirectly or directly send out a message, and there are a certain demographic of people who will take that as the gospel and run with it. And that's right. I know somebody who's like that, but that's neither here nor there right now.
Yeah.
So then we got at 1:26 p.m. Capitol Police ordered evacuation of Library of Congress, Madison Building, Cannon House of Office Building, and Independence Avenue across from the Capitol. So 16 minutes after, they started grappling.
Isn't that what you do when you're on the floor wrestling?
You wrestle, you grapple. It's almost like wrestling pretty much. So 16 minutes after that, they started evacuating everything. And then at 2:33 p.m., C-SPAN reports rioters have crossed Sanctuary Hall, the chambers that separates the House and the Senate, heading for the House and the Senate. So I want to pause it right there real quick. What was y'all thoughts when y'all seen these people, when y'all seen these thugs running through the Capitol, doing whatever the hell they wanted to do? Because they was looting and rioting. Let's make that clear. Like, they weren't just in there, peaceful protesting. They was in there taking shit. They was in there with their feet propped up on the desk and whatnot. So, Chrissy, what was your thoughts when you seen them up in there?
I said, these mucks is crazy. Like, no, for real. I was like, what? What is going on? Like, they are crazy. Like, how are they in here doing this? Like, what? Like you said, where's the National Guard? But in speaking on that, at the end of the day, the National Guard is not even supposed to be, I mean, for domestic terrorism, but I'm saying, like, we have them to fight other countries.
Yeah.
But to have to bring them to fight our own people, which obviously them ain't our people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's crazy. Like, where's all the police officers? When you sit there, that's my thought. And of course, at the time, I didn't know how many he had. But when I'm looking up, there's 2,300 Capitol police officers, but they only had 500.
Yeah.
500 was probably the minimum that you could probably have. So and that's crazy that you say like that is, you said 2,300, right?
2,300.
So
Capitol police officers.
We all know, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room. We all know that if it was a Black Lives Matter protest, all 23 would have been out there.
Well, you remember last year when they had National Guard on the steps?
On the steps.
Because of the monuments, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, come on, man.
Yeah. Who said that? Sherry Jacks 45. I'm using this because he's definitely not worthy of the word president. Hey, baby, you can take it. You know what I'm saying? It's for the people. Jarvis, JT, what was your thoughts when you seen, the thugs running amok? Still,
just the word privilege. They can't, like, that's the only thing I kept thinking of is like, there's no way that, like, I mean, one, like I thought, okay, this is an inside job, one. Right?
Of course.
You just kept thinking that, right? Two, privilege, and then just the whole dynamics around the whole thing, and just seeing, for me, it was just seeing how comfortable they was.
Exactly.
That
you said it best. Yes.
To see like them laughing, smiling.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
Like, yeah, that's it. Like what, didn't nobody fear no consequences?
Nah.
Because they knew it wasn't gonna be.
They knew it wasn't gonna be.
Yeah, it's like when you get together with your friends and it's like, hey, let's go over and hit this
party.
It's pretty much a party. Yeah, that's pretty much what they did. They had a party.
When I seen that, I said, like, I can't remember who I was talking to, but I said, that's doing two things, man. Like, it's conditioning people in two different ways.
Yep.
One, it's conditioning one group of people to think, yes, I have this privilege and I can do whatever I want whenever I want. On the other hand, it's conditioning people like us that look like us, like, man, like, we like for people who ain't mentally strong enough, you thinking to yourself like, okay, these people have got to be superior to us in order for them to be able to do this, and I can't. Right?
Yeah.
So to me, I mean, I don't know, man. A lot of people are conspiracy theorists and everything like that. So some people believe that, that's one part of the conspiracy, the deep condition of our minds. But
at the end of the day, it's two different Americas.
That's what I was just about to say.
Two different Americas. Even though we built America on the backs of slaves.
We built this place.
We built the place, yeah, right?
We built the place, Capitol,
it's
White House. Yeah.
Different Americas. Before you came in, me and Quentin was there talking, we were talking about, the whole situation with Trump. And I said, what it did is it gave you three different situations with people, kind of like what you said with white America. It let them know, like, hey, we are superior. Like, this is what we've been doing. Like, yeah, we can do whatever we want to do. This is the takeover. You know what I'm saying? By Trump being in office, like, it let us see who they really are, because they have been suppressing. Let's get this out. Racism ain't been gone. No. They just suppressed it.
Yeah.
What Trump did was normalize racism and let them know it's okay to be outright, blatantly racism, and you'll be praised for that. So be who you are. And you got your second group of Black people, or minorities that wasn't, whatever you want, woke. I myself can be honest. Until a couple of years ago, I didn't know how important it was to vote in the primary. Yeah. I just always knew about, presidential election, because what they taught us in history class was their history, not our history. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't know. So it's got people out here like, oh, we need to get McConnell out of here. Yeah. Then you got your other set of people, the non-minorities, that's just looking like, damn, I'm white. Like, is that, like you said, is that really us? Is that the privilege that we have? Like, that ain't right. Yeah. Some people are visual people, and they physically have to see what's going on to open their eyes.
Sometimes that's still not even enough.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So sometimes it's still.
Yeah, but I think for some people, like they can't, and I said this to somebody, man, like some people can't fathom the thought, because, like I told somebody, like if you've never lived it, if you've never experienced it, or it's never been like in your family, history of it, you know what I'm saying? Like your grandmother, your grandfather, your father, your mother, same with can talk to you about these things. Like, oh yeah, when I went to school, it was like my dad. I don't think they desegregated schools till I think he was going into the 9th grade. I think so. I mean, the thought behind that, like
what they actually lived through.
Yeah. So it's like for the longest time they were segregated. Like they ain't go to school with no white kids. They ain't go to school with nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? In the small town my dad grew up in, even when we go back to Texas, it's still a little like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't feel like it's all the way, there. But but at the same time, man, like people just can't fathom that people. But then again, honestly, like the history books and stuff, don't do any help in school because they're not telling the real true stories about it all.
No, not at all.
Right? They water it down, they sugarcoat it, they only tell you, you know, because a lot of it is, and this ain't all white people by any means, you know what I'm saying? I love the way that honestly, within the past like 4 years, I feel like there has been some good in this. The past 8 years, there was a lot of good too. You know, the previous 8, you know, under President Obama, but the past 4 years have really allowed some people to see like, okay, like my voice matters for them.
Okay.
Right. So that's been like a tremendous, you know, of course we need, you know, in order for us to have any change in this world, you know what I'm saying? Black people ain't going to be able to do it by themselves.
Correct.
Right. So I think just the whole dynamics of it all, just seeing how all of that kind of has brought us to where we at now. It is good to see that we have those allies.
Well, we've always needed those allies. So when I hear a black person say, and this is just me, when I hear a black person say, man, we don't need the white people, we don't listen. At the end of the day, if it wasn't, and this is me, y'all tell me what y'all think, if it wasn't for white people, the Underground Railroad would not have been able to go through the way that it is. And I say that because, okay, put it this way.
I mean, there was a lot of help along the way.
You had to have somebody outside of you to be able to help you. We couldn't have done that. We didn't have the resources at that time to be able to pass through the way that we did. I think I talked to a man one day, and this is what reminds me of. He said, you know, a successful white man never has to worry some of them about what's going on this side because they can make it to the top of success and never have to deal with black people, right? But as a black man, where have you seen a black man make it all the way to the top of success and not have to encounter a white person?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not set up that way. Like, we are not to that point yet.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that there's not a lot that we can't do on our own as black people, but I do also understand and recognize that we do need other resources outside of ourselves to be able to push forward. And that's just real.
I also think too, though, like my biggest struggle with like a lot of people who don't have any empathy towards it, right? Is like I've had so many of my ex co-workers and stuff reach out to me, right? And they trying to like change my mind on how I think about things. But like my whole thing is like, I get it, right? And I told them, I said, like, what you failing to realize is like the people I know, the black people I know, we acknowledge the fact that we've been suppressed. We're still being suppressed in some way, but that don't stop us from moving forward, right? We still gonna do what we have to do.
For sure.
But everything they come to me, like, man, you got to stop using that as an excuse. And just listen, I'm not using an excuse for nothing. I'm just acknowledging what's there. Because the more and more you don't acknowledge it, right? The more and more it gets lost, swept under the rug, and the more nobody wants to address the elephant in the room, right? So
it needs to be spoken on, just like we continue to speak on white America with Columbus. I mean, all this stuff, all the what they want to call facts that aren't necessarily facts.
Yeah.
Y'all don't sweep that under the rug.
Man, it just blows my mind though to like really think about how some people, you know, where they're like, you know, America this, America that, like we've been saying, it's two different Americas, one. But like when people really address it like that, and they, you know, especially when they was talking about everything going on during the Black Lives Matter protests and some of the other protests, and it like, come on, man, like miss me with that. America was built on violence, on stealing, like so rape, killing, rape, murder. So like you can't even like, so for people to think that how the foundation of this was built, if you don't think that it's still there, like something's wrong. Like you missing something somewhere, right?
Is it that they missing or they just don't care?
It could be a little bit of both. But it could also be like you said, like, you know, it might be missing. Like some people, if you've never experienced it, like you can't, but at the same time, I get it. If you've never experienced it, right, you can't really feel how it feels. But don't invalidate me and my feelings and what I've been through because you've never been through it.
And it can go both ways, Quentin, because I don't got experience going to jail to know I don't want to go to jail.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know right from wrong. I don't always have to be, but I feel what you're saying. Like you can't necessarily feel exactly what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
But
I think
just have some empathy.
Empathy, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Empathy is the most important word, because obviously a lot of white America is never going to go through some of the things as a black woman or a black man that will go through. But if you're dating outside your race and a particular incident might happen, it might open your eyes to be like, oh, so that's what they talking about. And be more understanding, more empathetic to it. But as y'all was talking about white privilege and everything and storming the Capitol, I was thinking about, we all parents, so we know how to discipline our kids, right?
Yeah.
You ever seen somebody, and I'm pretty sure you have, you've been out in the store somewhere and they child just run amok, and in your head, you like, if you don't get this little mother.
Yeah.
That's what just reminds me of what's going on with the Capitol.
Sure.
Donald Trump, 45 is the parent, and the thugs are the terrorists, and we sitting back like, you ain't gonna get these little
motherfuckers. Right. So
like,
you just gonna let them climb the walls?
You just gonna let your kids just do whatever the hell they want to do, huh? Okay. That's how you run your house. All right.
Okay.
All right.
But it's so crazy to me too, just speaking about that, how people have been like, we like Donald Trump because it's not political, but the moment he got in there, everything got political for him, right? Mm-hmm. So now you look at, like, I truly believe to the core that some of the Republican congressmen don't agree with that man.
Okay, I can rock with that.
But because that man has such a major following and his word impacts them staying in office within their state or their local, they are willing to risk being associated with his ideas in order to get reelected. Yes. And it's sad to say, like I hate the fact, man, that people, because at the end of the day, it's selling your soul, right? That's exactly what it is. Because even if you don't agree with it, you like, all right, I'm gonna go with this just so I can get reelected, or I'm gonna do this just so if I need something, I know he's gonna make it happen, right?
His base will become my base.
Yeah, but I think you're gonna see some things change, especially, which is huge. The Senate being, basically the majority is gonna be Democrat, right? So you're going to see a lot of things change now, because everybody can't kiss Mitch McConnell's ass no more. Everybody can't kiss Trump's ass no more, right? So you're going to start seeing some other people. It ain't going to be nothing drastic, because, people still have their views, which I'm going to just go ahead and say it.
Say it, man. Let it out. You got Cal. He's already agreeing with you. Said driver's you right this year to go against him because they think they won't get reelected. But go ahead.
Exactly. But I'm not even really big on politics in general, right? Like, and I told people this too, like, it wouldn't matter to me. Like, if Joe Biden or if Obama was the type of person that Trump was, if they talked the way he talked and had that same rhetoric and, it was preaching that type of, hate and stuff like that, I'm not a fan, but I'm going to think the same way about that man as I'm going to think about him. You know what I'm saying? So it don't matter.
Cameron. Prime example. It doesn't matter because they're black. It's got to be bigger than that. It
don't matter to me. So, like, I think that's what people fail to realize. Like it don't matter. Like, he's just, to me, in my opinion, I ain't speaking for no one else, but in my opinion, I just don't like him as a person. Right? Yeah. And I don't feel like he has my best interest. Because if you talking about, you doing something to taxes and I get an extra $1,000, like, I'm not selling no, like that don't do it for me.
You don't like him or respect him. You can't respect you. Don't like you. I don't have to like you to respect you. Yeah. But you can't respect him or like him. But you know what? I got something even better than that. You talking about the congressmen and stuff. My thought process, and want to see y'all's thought processes, and when somebody that is black says they voted for Trump. And I say this real quick because I'm sitting in my living room. One of my friends came by, I hadn't seen in years, right? Came through, we sitting on the couch this day after 7. I'm watching CNN, I'm hyped. Look, he's crazy ass, like Trump and I'm saying, I told one of my friends, if you fool with Trump, I can't fool with you for real because something's wrong. You ain't in my circle. I said, I'm assuming that if you black and you voted for Trump, you the reason why slavery happened because you was the one that sold me off. Yeah, you the one that white men in the boat. You the ones that's gonna sell me off. Just because of the money, for whatever reason. So then he's just sitting there, right? He said, I'm going to tell you, my wife's white. I was like, But see, before that, I'm getting hyped because you think, why you ain't got the same energy that I got right now. I'm going out for that, and you just sitting there like this, right? So I'm pushing. I said what I said. I said, I think you just gonna sell me out to slave. He's like, my wife's white. I'm like, mm-hmm. He was like, so her dad votes for Trump. Mm-hmm. She votes for Trump. I said, mm-hmm. He said, so I voted for Trump. I said, mm-mm. I said, why you vote for Trump? I mean, that's what my household did. I said, what does that mean?
Yeah.
What she did. So I said, I mean, I do have a mind of my own. So what is your reasoning that you voted for Trump? That's my thing. That's what I can't for the life of me, unless it's about money. And if you're choosing the money over morals, which people do every single day, but it's bigger than that. And you vote for him, why? And he never really answered me why he voted for him.
Kid, why you vote for him?
I thought he was just a smooth dude. I thought he was a cool looking dude, so he got my vote. But I definitely didn't vote for 45. But to piggyback off of what you were saying is that it needs to be an actual conversation. Like it can't be. Yeah. It has to be because of his, tax breaks. So it has to be something.
He said it wasn't about the money.
No, I'm not saying him.
No,
I'm just saying in general to make me feel like, okay, it wasn't because of this. It was because you get a benefit off of that. You know what I'm saying? So you're not necessarily voting for the person. You're voting for what he's about to do.
Yeah.
And how it's going to benefit whatever you got going on in your life. Yeah, so if they break it down to me in a way that it makes sense, maybe financially for them and their family, okay, I get it. You don't fuck with him, but you like what he can provide for your family. So then at that point, is it still selling your soul?
Yes, selling your soul, because at the end of the day, it's just about the money, because he really don't give a fuck about you, your son, your mama, anybody. It's not about.
Why you jumping all over me? Like, I ain't vote for him for real. Like you all over me. Like damn, George, look what you did. But go ahead though. She's like your mama. I'm like damn, like we vote for Biden. Like
no, I mean I'm just saying like at the end of the day, it's just like okay. Say you choose them because you in a certain tax bracket. So is that what our life is about? It's just the money? It doesn't matter
to some people.
Yeah, I mean to some people.
We don't.
To some people. Like,
yeah, I mean, but that's honestly what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what honestly makes people individuals, right? So like we all think different, and I'm okay with that, right? Like I heard someone tell me that they voted for Trump because they felt like he was pro-life. Like that was their biggest thing, right? He was pro-life. Or pro-life, right? So basically, kind of meaning like banning the abortion and stuff like that,
in the clinic,
right? As long as it's not a black life, it's pro-life.
And some people are just like I feel like some people are really hung up on that because I think some people can, like I said, decipher between. I don't like it, but I do agree with this strongly, right? Mm-hmm. And if the other person is like. Nah, like they pro-choice, so they would rather, be okay with someone being killed or something like people.
But they can't be pro-life when he's openly trying to normalize racism, and he's not speaking out against the violence.
It becomes a point of what do you value more than?
Yeah, what do you consider pro-life though?
But if you think about pro-life, right? Like pro-life has been primarily attached to
abortion,
yeah. Right? And some people can't split that up in their head. Like they can't really
compartmentalize.
Yeah, they can't do that.
So so we don't believe in them out here killing babies or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But if a cop kills a black person because he turned around the wrong way, then I'm okay with that. Yeah, because they should have did. Because
it doesn't affect them in any kind of way for that to happen, but it could affect the pro-life because. What if their daughter gets, pregnant or, by rape? Or what if they get pregnant and they didn't so it affects them. But if something like that, they don't care about that shit. Yeah, they don't give a damn about none of that. So, man, why are you still looking at me like I voted for Trump, man? Like, damn, like, what the hell? But anyways, continuing on the timeline of events that happened on January 6th, which Jarvis says is his birthday. We got, what? My bad. We got Representative Elaine. Hope I said this last name right. Loria.
Where is that?
Right there.
Loria.
Okay. Mm-hmm. She's a Democrat from Virginia. She tweeted out that she is being evacuated after reports of a pipe bomb outside. Supporters of the president are trying to force their way to the Capitol, and I can hear what sounds like multiple gunshots.
Man, at the end of the day, I don't
multiple gunshots.
Like all that stuff. And I'm gonna kind of fast forward a little bit. We can come back.
Yeah, go ahead.
But did y'all hear his little video, his little apology he came out with, was it yesterday, I think? So,
you heard that shit?
You sound like an upset woman that don't want to hear your apology. Like, I hear your bullshit.
Yeah, but if you couldn't come out while it was happening and condemn it and say something, like he never seems to condemn anything when it's happening. Right. So just like when they was at the debate and they was like, condemn white supremacy, condemn white supremacy. Okay,
Proud
okay,
boys, stand back and stand by.
Like, come on, dude. Like, there was a
what he said yesterday is what he should have said at the point when the rally was happening, talking about we don't stand for violence.
Exactly.
We don't accept that.
Yeah.
Why you didn't say it that day? No, what you told them, what he said, listen, we love you.
Yeah, we love you.
Go home. We're proud of you.
Patriots.
Yeah.
Didn't he call them special?
Yeah, you're very special.
Yeah, so that was special.
Like,
he can't condemn what brought him into office.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And this is my question: like, how do you, like, okay, I don't know if anybody that's watching or anybody got any friends or they heard someone talk, but if you know somebody who has actually went to one of those went down to the Capitol here or in DC or whatever, and you're carrying an assault rifle, like, why is an assault rifle necessary for you to go protest? Unless you plan on, I could potentially use this, right? It
was a revolution. You heard the girl that got maced.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like, when you got people, you know, and I don't know, you know, some Black Lives Matter protesters may have been carrying. Is
it the assault rifle that you have a problem with, or just guns in general? Do you feel like it's okay for you to pack a Glock, but you don't need that assault rifle? You don't need an AK to go down there.
I mean, you definitely don't need an assault rifle, right? I mean, I think some people feel like they need to be protected a little more. I don't see how that. I mean, it's clear
because if you go down there with an assault rifle, you plan on chopping down somebody's block.
Well, and like I said, we live in two different Americas because at the same time, the white people went in there and they felt right at home because that's where they was. They was laughing and joking. It wasn't you know what I'm saying? It was, oh, here we are, we doing this. But with Black people, when they do it, for me, it's more just in case because I see what they're gonna do to us. If something pop off, I gotta be ready.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? I need to be prepared for what's going on. They didn't look like they was worried about nothing. The police is letting them in.
And this is my
and taking pictures, taking selfies.
And this is my thing too. Like, and I don't know DC's rule, but I know here, like how do you know all those people are registered firearm owners, one, or you know, are valid enough to carry those weapons? So I get it. You got a protest going on or whatever, hell, that wasn't a protest.
No.
It may have started off as a rally protest, but then it turned into
it was an insurrection.
An insurrection. So when you got all them people, why, as law enforcement, do you not start checking people? Like, okay, you know, let me see your card that says you can do let me run your stuff like that. Like, I just feel like that needs to happen. But even like, you know, just speaking on the whole thing, like, you know, just this week, Monday. You know, people was down at the Capitol here in Frankfurt with assault rifles. Like, what do you like? Yeah, like, that's intimidation. Like,
that's it right there. That's intimidation. That's it.
That was their point. We're going to intimidate anybody that ain't with us is against us, including Mike Pence, because they was ready to hang him too.
Yeah, and as you see, right, and this was my biggest thing. You got the Black Lives Matter protests, right? Like, I keep bringing it up just to oppose, because a lot of people have been using it to be in opposition to that. But I feel like when I've seen some of those, and I've heard people who've been at those, right? Anytime there ends up being violence, anything that's going on, it's always because there's counter protesters there.
Yeah,
ain't no. I didn't see any counter protesters here.
Man, right? You see what they tweeted? Who tweeted? They said, "Hey, y'all sit y'all black asses at home. This ain't got nothing to do with us.
This ain't our
fight.
Let
them people go over there and do what they doing. They gonna, you know what I'm saying, do what they do. They said, what we need to be out there for."
But I will honestly say too, it made me feel good to see, you know, like, some people were like, oh yeah, you know, they were praising, you know, what was going on. But it made me feel good to see that even some people that are on my Facebook friends that have been Trump support, that was like, and while it was happening, it was like, whoa, hold on, like this ain't what I signed up for. Like, I don't agree with this at all. Like, I don't like, these are the things I don't agree with. And even though like, I feel like they should have been shouting, they don't agree with a lot of stuff he's been saying, to actually, you know, see them come to light and then start to see like, okay, like, because that could have sparked someone to be like, okay, yeah, maybe I just was blinded by this, but okay, yes, this isn't right. But you can't, it's still like, it's a struggle for me because you could be okay with him talking about handicapped people, making fun of them. You can be okay with him, you know, calling, you know, Black Lives Matter protesters and telling people to do harm to them. You can be okay with him not condemning people who are trying to kidnap the governor of, is it Michigan?
Yeah.
The governor of Michigan. But then when you see something like no, like you like,
because it's embarrassing. What it is they see people acting like monkeys and acting a whole fool at the American Capitol. That's embarrassing to them. Like, here we've been sitting here talking about all these groups of people and this person doing this, and that's, wait a minute, that's us up there.
Wait a minute.
That's, hold on. Like,
it made people want to go take a little Trump flag down for a little
because
bit.
Because what it did was, it showed other countries.
Y'all wilding, little. Y'all wilding.
But look, other countries just looking at us like, oh, y'all weak as hell. That's all we got to do? Y'all weak.
But they've been looking at us like, man, we've been a laughing stock, honestly. And I'm going to just be real with you.
Keep it 100.
It don't matter, like, within the past 4 years, it don't matter where I've traveled to. I have heard nothing but negative about that man being in office.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, we have been the laughing stock, honestly, for the last, I can't tell you, like, how many years. Like, well, for the last 4 years. And, you know, not to get super overly political about that, because I don't know, you know, like, I'm not a real political person to know that deep down inside. I just want someone to be a good person. Like, because I feel like if you're a good person, right, like, you gonna want good for the common person, for everyone. But when the rhetoric that you sell is kind of like hate and division and stuff like that, like, it don't matter. Maybe it ain't me. Like maybe we get Q in office one day and Q is like spitting all that stuff about, you know, you creating racism towards white people or Hispanic people or whatever it may be. I'm not gonna like that, because that ain't my, like, I don't agree with that.
You better vote for me.
Right? I ain't gonna vote for you.
You better vote for me.
But
well, we're going to take a quick pause in the break. I'm going to get to some of these comments here that have been popping through here. I just want to let y'all know that we are bringing this show live from the creation space and Truth Recording and Entertainment. If anybody's looking for somewhere to record a song, rehearse with your band, or if you got a podcast and need a place to or help recording it, tap in with Truth Recording and Entertainment. And speaking of podcasting, you know what I'm saying? If you want to be a podcaster, I'll be here to help you with that, as me and Andrea, what's her last name? Andrea White? Andrea Thomas. Sorry about that. Andrea Thomas will be hosting podcast 101 classes starting next Saturday, January 23rd. There are 3 spots left, and we will have another one on January the 30th. So we will help you get your podcast off the ground and run it, and maybe try to compete with He Said, She Said, but that ain't happening though. But anyways, back to the proceedings at
But
hand.
I know January 23rd, you better be where you going.
I know your birthday.
How come? Why we ain't got no one-on-one podcast?
Hey man, I don't make the rules around here.
We ain't even got the podcast.
So back to the timeline of events that happened on January 26th. Man, I swear to God, man. But this is to Jarvis's point. Callie said, I don't like how people in these corporations are just nailing against him. They should have been against him and all this nonsense that he's been saying all along.
Well, see,
Cal,
yeah.
It's all about money.
Yeah, it's
all about money. Just like people didn't jump on the bandwagon with Colin in the beginning, but then when it became one of those things, it was a trend, and then now it's like, oh wow, we see, you know, George Floyd, you know, we got to do something. So when everybody's jumping on it, it's a bandwagon.
Yeah.
It's about the money. At the end of the day, it's about them coins.
It's about them coins.
But the fact that people were so mad about this man kneeling during the national anthem, or
they still are mad about that stuff,
and calling it disrespecting the flag and stuff like that. But then to see these goons go into the Capitol, take off the American flag, put on a Trump flag, or put on a Confederate flag, like for people not to scream disrespect at that. And then you got even people here, like, you know, when the men's basketball team.
I was just about to speak on that.
People talking about burning their UK gear and stuff
so?
like that. Burn it.
You don't already pay for it. We ain't losing no money. Sleep off of that. We don't want you as fans anyway.
Man, it just killed me, man, because it's like
Cal came out today and doubled down on that too.
Oh, did he?
What's
that?
Yeah, he came out and doubled. Yeah, he came out and said that a tweet is like, we're going to support our players and things of that nature. He's behind them 100%. So he doubled down on it. So,
but that's people, like, when people like people always want to invalidate someone else's feelings, right? Like, you always want to invalidate. I mean, and it's no different than if I agree with something, you know, or if you agree, or you feel a certain way about something and I don't agree with it, but it's the way I come at you.
Yeah.
And that's why
don't diminish how I feel just because you think differently.
That's it.
And that's why people get to a point where the communication don't work, because you may feel a different way and it's okay. Dude, if you feel a different way, you feel how you feel, I can respect that, right? But you can't come at me and say, ha 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 ha, why you feel like that? That's just stupid.
That's stupid,
Bro, me and you are done right there. We can't even have this conversation.
Because then you're not even open-minded now. So there's no
because it's an argument.
There's no open dialogue now.
And ain't nobody learning nothing. We just trying to prove our point and make the other person feel dumb or whatever you want to say. But that's how a lot of people, like, even some people, you know, even some of the white people that I'm friends with on Facebook, when they've commented on some of my posts or reached out to me in my inbox, it didn't come from a place of, all right, bro, let me get some understanding, right?
Yeah, let's talk about this.
Because I feel this way, and let me get some understanding. It was always a, brother, you're feeling wrong about this. I don't know why you, like.
It's almost like
they're attacking you. Dialogue?
Like we done right there, because you've invalidated how I felt about it. Like, you're not trying to understand what I'm saying. You just saying, bro, you wrong. Now listen to me.
I'm right.
I'm right.
Yeah.
No, you can't invalidate my feelings. You can't.
Man, so let's continue on with the timeline of events that happened on Jarvis's favorite day. What do you say?
Nah, I said I agree with William. China, Russia, other countries looking
definitely.
Let me put that comment up there for people to see real quick while I read this. At 2:22, reports say Vice President Mike Pence has been escorted out of the Senate chamber. 2 minutes later, after that, at 2:24, 45 tweeted, Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done to protect our country and our Constitution, giving states a chance to certify or correct a set of facts, not the fraudulent or inaccurate ones which they were asked to previously certify. USA demands the truth. And that's because he says Pence didn't invoke the 25th Amendment.
No, that was about the Democrats.
Oh, that was about the Democrats. Okay. But then let's see down here, you said you can hear chants from rioters saying, hang Mike Pence.
Come on, man. Listen, it ain't about the American people. It was about them wanting to have a takeover, a hostile takeover. White supremacy, and if you ain't with us, you against us. So
put them on an island and just let it be a dictatorship. Let him run it.
Yeah, for real.
Let him run it. 72, 74 million, whatever the number was he said. But the writing has been on the wall. It's been on the wall, like, so clear as day. Like when you just like I get it. Like sometimes it does seem like, oh, everyone that he just fires or whatever, then they end up wanting to write a book, do like this. But that's been on the wall. You don't agree with what I say, you out of here, right? But he can't do because of the way our government set up, he ain't gonna do you like North Korea, where that man will have you killed and won't. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody brush up against you with some stuff.
But it ain't no different. He gonna try to crush you as he kicks you out because you don't agree with what he says or don't agree with something. But it don't even matter what you say. Like listen, I was in the cabinet. I was in his cabinet. I heard him say this. He did this, this, and this. Because his supporters are gonna be like, no, he wasn't. Nah, you just bitter because you got fired. Like, bro, that was a what's that called? Like a carousel of people just going in and out.
Mm-hmm.
Like what administration has ever done that?
Mm-hmm.
What administration has ever done any of the things that 45 did? He's the first president to be impeached twice.
Russia.
Ever in history.
Dictatorship, bro.
That's definitely what it is. I mean, come on. They in there screaming about Pelosi, talking about kill Pelosi. Come on, they brought a noose.
Come on, man.
Like I don't know how many videos that y'all watch, but and the thing is, when these people are going to get convicted, it's off all the stuff they posted themselves. Yeah. They went live and they were so proud of it. They were speaking on news like, yeah, we did this. We ran up in Pelosi's desk and we did da-da-da-da-da. The same things that y'all was doing and y'all was posting, the same things is going to convict you.
Privilege, bro. Like,
at the end of the day.
Same thing, make you laugh, make you cry.
Listen, even though I've known and I've been knowing just as well as you, just to see it in live, on person, in the news, it's still kind of like, damn.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it's still one of those things, you can know it, but to see it, takes it to a whole nother level.
And then let's see, we're going to fast forward a little bit to 23845 tweets. Please support our Capitol Police and law enforcement. They are truly on the side of our country. Stay peaceful.
They was on their side, wasn't they?
Yeah, on their side.
They was on
their side, all right.
1 minute later, rioters are photographed breaking Capitol windows. And then at 2:44, shots are reported fired in the House chamber. And then at 2:47, Huntington Post report tweets image of rioters at Dais. They're in the chamber. This is crazy. Once you like read the timeline of events, it's like this shit is crazy. And then at 2:53, Representative Alex Mooney, a Republican from West Virginia, tweets he has been safely moved from the House chamber. He says he and others were given an escape hood, a respiratory hood, and a mask for protection, and fires of chemical accidents. And then at 2:55, Representative Tim Burchett, a Republican from Tennessee, texts, shots fired. So there were shots fired inside. Mm-hmm. And then at 3:03, thugs are photographed on the Senate floor, because I'm tired of calling them rioters, because they're not rioters, they're thugs. Mm-hmm. Was this the back end? Okay, my bad. And then at 45 tweets again, I'm asking for everyone at the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful, no violence. Remember, we are the party of law and order, respect the law, and our great men and women in blue. Thank you. Man, your dude just be on the road, Jarvis. Your guy, man.
It was ignorant, man. Like, man, I'm so glad. Like, man, listen, freedom of speech or not, man. I'm so glad they took him away from him.
Oh, they took everything.
He can't even get on Pinterest.
Man,
I thought, man, you can't even look up recipes, my guy. Nah, you can't even look up recipes, my dude.
They started that new, was it Parlor? They started their own, they started their own like website. Yeah. So now they're trying to sue Amazon and Apple because they removed the apps so the people can't download it. So they trying to sue them. Man, you knew that was coming. All right, y'all want let us on y'all? We're gonna make our own.
Man, it did 3:34 p.m. CBS reports a woman in critical condition after being shot in the neck inside the Capitol.
That is Ashley Babbitt.
Oh, man. And then police later report that the woman died. Like you said, she was identified as Ashley Babbitt, 35, an Air Force veteran. Her husband was quoted as saying she was a strong supporter of Trump.
Oh, she had all type of videos. I don't know if y'all seen them. She was talking about Breonna Taylor. She said both of them was thugs. You gotta go back and watch the video. Right, yeah. Both of them is thugs, and if you ain't doing wrong, then you wouldn't have died. It's pretty much what she said.
So, man, I don't want to speak on that.
No, I'm gonna speak on it.
No, not that part. It's just that you speak
on somebody you don't even know.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but this is the thing. Like, what she's going by is the stuff she's saying wasn't even true. We watching you. You posted a video of yourself talking about we about to go ahead and storm the Capitol, take it back. Trump this, Trump that. You up there, we see the video. You don't know what went on with her. People's out there talking about she was a veteran. Y'all acting like this. Y'all can't talk bad about us. So you want us to sympathize with her death, but y'all can't even empathize with, y'all have no empathy for what happened
George
with
Floyd,
Breonna.
Breonna Taylor, none of
that.
Yeah, none of that.
And she was at home doing nothing.
Her boyfriend was a drug dealer. Had everything that didn't have nothing to do with nothing. But anyways, at 3:51 p.m., the District of Columbia National Guard, about 1,100 troops, is mobilized to support local law enforcement. And then at 4:05, a congressional correspondent tweets that congressional leaders are being evacuated from the Capitol. Man, that's crazy, man. We got the tunes in the background right there.
Oh, yeah, for sure, William.
Yeah, we got the, and then Kyle said, I hate that she lost her life, but in her own words, if you weren't doing wrong, you wouldn't be dead.
That's exactly what she said, Kyle. That's exactly what she said.
So man, so there it is, you know what I'm saying? So, continue on, man. This is a long ass day. 4:17 in a tweeted video lasting over just 1 minute, Trump says in part, I know your pain. I know you're hurt. We're in an election that was stolen from us. Man.
Like, didn't say nothing to calm nobody down, bro.
It was a landslide election. Everyone knows it, especially the other side. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. So go home. We love you. You're special. I know how you feel, but go home and go home in peace. Like you said, didn't acknowledge nothing that happened. Didn't even acknowledge the young lady who lost her life or none of that. It was just, man.
Because he don't care.
Man, listen, everybody is a what they call it in the like some of casualty or something like that, like in the military, like
what, a casualty of war, like
they call it something like
collateral damage.
Yeah, like it don't matter to him, right? As long as he get what he wants.
Yeah,
right.
Like you said, collateral damage is what I would look at it.
Yeah, and then Phyllis Walken died the same way by the bullet.
But I feel what I feel what William's saying too, man. Ted Cruz definitely needs to be held accountable.
And Josh Hawley. Yeah. Don't forget about him.
Yeah. And I mean, and to be honest with you, man, anybody who has enabled him and fed into, like, the writing was on. He talked about this like so long ago, and every time he spoke, he was inciting. So, like, anybody who enabled it deserves to be held to be accountable a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, because you've been enabling this behavior. That's what it is. Like, the more, like, if you keep telling me, yeah, you're doing right. Yeah, you're doing right.
I'm gonna keep doing it.
I'm gonna keep doing, and it's gonna make me feel more and more empowered. Like, oh shit, I can do.
Especially when it's the president of the United States,
leader, quote unquote, leader of the free world. Yeah, so he got to feel like he got the power to do whatever, say whatever, however, whatever.
That's because he's been doing it and he's been getting away with it, and they've been okaying it like it ain't nothing.
Yeah. And then to sum up the rest of the day, you know what I'm saying, the AP, well, first of all, some of 45 tweets addressing the riot were deleted. Twitter bans the president from tweeting for 12 hours. Twitter's first froze the tweets and wouldn't allow a comment or retweets. Then the ban was imposed. And then 8 o'clock, Congress reconvenes to assume counting electoral votes. And the aftermath is 5 believed dead, at least 68 arrested. Man. And
let me take something back, though. Let's talk about how long it took for them to okay the National Guard to come out, though.
Yeah. So from the start,
over an hour and a half.
I don't know if it was an hour. I think
they said in order to release
3:15
the National Guard, the president
has to
do it.
Yeah, he had to okay it. So it was like they said a different state. So the mayor, first they were trying to blame the mayor. Yeah. She did not have the authority to call and have that done. Mm-hmm. He did not do it.
Yeah. Because I think like had it been because I think the Capitol is considered federal grounds, I think. So but they said he still didn't do it. He came out and said he did it, but they said that they went they basically bypassed him since he wouldn't do it. And they said they got Mike Pence to do it. So I mean, I'm not sure how true that is. I don't know who's listening, who's watching it, and thinks that thinks that I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, correct it. But
you ain't wrong, bro.
But my thing is, what were they going to do when they got in there? Because they was in there with zip ties, guns, all type of stuff. What was their plan, though? What did they think that they were just going to do it and hold them hostage, and then we was going to swear, or we weren't going what's the word I'm looking for? Not finalize. Biden's presidency, certify. Yeah, certify his presidency. Mm-hmm. Like, what was the plan?
I don't know.
What did they think?
Well, I don't know what their plan was. I guess they thought they was just gonna go in there and then just wing it. And then let's get to some of these key arrests and things of that nature. We have a death by suicide. This is Chris Stanton,
that was the banker in Atlanta.
Yeah, in Atlanta.
Yeah, the avid Trump supporter and bank manager in Metro Atlanta took his own life before facing federal charges for his participation on the siege of the American Capitol. Oh man, let's see.
There's so many layers behind that.
It is, and then we have Richard Barnett, 60, the dude who has feet, propped up on, Nancy Pelosi's office.
And one thing about him, let me tell y'all what made me mad. The charges they brought against him initially, before they added the weapon charge, gave him a maximum of 1 year in prison.
Yeah.
Now they added the weapons charge and it's 11 years.
Yeah, let's see.
I mean, I know people out there that said they serving 30 years for weed.
Man, listen.
GOP needs to be held accountable. They enabled it by going along saying the election was stolen and claims of fraud.
Exactly.
There was no evidence going along. And the fact that, like, regardless of where they, so we talking about in Republican-led states.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, even they, like, the attorney general, everyone is Republican, and they like, dude, we don't see no fraud. And then even the Supreme Court justices that he appointed, but still, even after all of this, his followers are still just, ain't nobody got no proof, but they hinging on this man's word, who wasn't in none of the voting precincts at all. But they keep hinging on what this man says because, they said it was stolen. Oh, it was stolen. Bruh, it's been recounted by your people.
By your people.
And then your judges. Come on, bruh.
Man, he thought by doing all that they was gonna follow his word blindly forever in the day. And it's like some things, it's like, come on, dude, it's just what it is, and it can't be that way.
And those are real patriots to me, right?
Yeah.
That could set aside, like, okay, I know I'm a Republican.
Yeah.
Because truth be told, the way he bashed like Governor Kemp in Georgia and stuff like that, it is gonna affect his reelection. I'm not saying he won't get reelected, but it's gonna affect how many people may vote for him or how many may not. And the dude, who was it, the Attorney General? Or the I can't remember his name, but the guy who kept going on there and saying, like, listen, we counted it. The Inspector General or whatever. Like, it's gonna affect him getting reelected.
Well, it affected that's the whole reason why we won the Senate. Because he had his people so confused talking about it's voter fraud, don't trust the machines. So what said was that if the same amount of voters came out, went for the runoff, that came out on election day, we would have lost.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
Yeah.
Because Trump had them so confused, like, well, damn, do I vote? Do I not vote? Well, I do. That's his fault. He lost that for them.
Man.
Kyle, I agree with you.
What you say?
Man, it's the largest coat of all time. I've never seen, like, listen.
Oh, for sure.
Listen, as a man, like, I love President Obama. But, bruh, I'm not going to buy no President Obama flag and driving it on my car, bruh.
And I'm not going to agree with everything. I don't agree with everything the Democrats say. I don't agree with everything that the Republicans say. But that doesn't mean that just because I don't agree with everything you say, I'm not talking about morally, just things. Listen, I love guns, right? I'm pissed right now about this shit that Biden's talking about this $200 tax. If you got assault rifles, I don't got to agree with it, but the other stuff, that's just a personal thing that I don't like, right? Yep. But it's not just about me. It's bigger than me.
Yep, it's bigger than you. and that's what made it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, them people did not sell their soul for him at the end of the day when it came down to it. Like, they chose integrity over selling their soul for him. And like Janelle just said, like, the same ballot, like, that's what tripped me out. It's the same ballot. Like you can't, okay, if I have a Republican governor or Republicans on this ballot and they win, but you don't win. Okay, some people just decided not to
vote for you,
not to vote all Republicans. Some people was like, all right,
I'm gonna look through this and vote for
I'm
him.
voting for you. Like, come on, man. Like you think people really went on there?
He cannot stand the fact that he lost, and they built that man up to make him think that he could do whatever he wanted to do, And then when shit didn't go his way, just like a spoiled brat.
Just like a little kid. Yeah. Just like a little kid.
Throwing a tantrum.
Just like a little
kid. They
did
that.
Man, hit on some of these things here before we wrap this up. We have Derek Evans. His participation in the riot led lawmakers in his home state consider cutting off his access to the West Virginia State House. But within a week of the riot, he had resigned. He is facing federal charges of trespassing and disorderly conduct. And then we have Jacob Fracker, I hope that's how you say his name, and Thomas Robertson, 2 off-duty police officers from Rocky Mountain, Virginia, are accused of trespassing and violent entry and disorderly conduct on Capitol grounds. And then back to what
I got something to say.
Go ahead.
I know y'all seen the little clown that looked like a Viking with the paint on his face.
Yeah.
Jacob, right?
Is that the Jacob?
Jacob Chansley?
Okay.
Talking about his mama on there talking about something. My son hasn't eaten since Friday because he only eats organic food. What?
Well.
But look, but it ain't well, because you know what they did? We got him Trader Joe's. We got people in jail that can't even get proper medical care. And y'all want to get this man Trader Joe's?
We know why.
Bro, my homeboy said he ate powdered eggs, bro. I ain't never even know they had powdered eggs, bro.
But this is what I'm talking about. Let him eat. Let him starve.
Yeah.
He don't want to eat.
You don't eat. Get these push-ups in, bro.
What?
I just don't even man. But that privilege.
Privilege.
That goes back to privilege.
That's it. And then, go ahead.
I know what I'm saying. I really would like to have this discussion another day, and I really would like to have somebody on here that is really
an avid Trump
supporter, preferably somebody black, because I want to understand. You ain't gonna make me understand, but I want to know.
Have a conversation.
Yeah, I want to have honest dialogue with you about why it is that you vote for him, and why do you think that the things that he does is okay.
You know what? So anybody watching right now, if you are an avid Trump supporter, or you know somebody who's an avid Trump supporter, please hit that inbox, because we would like to get them on the show. And it's not going to be us attacking this person. It's just going to be an open dialogue of us having questions for them, and maybe they have questions for us as far as why we think the way we think as far as our community is concerned. But that's a conversation that does need to be had. Mm-hmm. And then piggybacking off of what you guys were saying earlier about the impeachment, Trump has now been impeached a second time. This is the first president has ever been impeached 2 times. Jarvis's boy Mitch McConnell will not start the trial until Joe Biden has moved in. If this happens, if Trump is convicted, he will lose $200,000 yearly pension, $1 million in travel expenses, Secret Service for life, amongst other privileges. Man, the decision to impeach has been the most bipartisan vote ever.
Come on, man. History.
Man,
Trump's made these history books now. Who's writing the new history books? Is that what I want to know? Who is in charge of writing these history books?
Shit, we writing our own history books.
Because these are going to be different than history that we were taught back in the day. These history books are going to be so different from generations to come.
Yeah, but I think just in general, I think education needs like a
it needs to be revamped.
Yeah, just a big rehaul of everything, like from all of it.
I mean, especially history, man. Like if you gonna teach that history, man, like teach that history. Like, it's ugly, and I know a lot of America don't want to face that, but you got to face it, bro. Like this is what you know what I'm saying?
Worst presidency. You know, they ain't got no problem with redoing all this math and shit. You know, they keep changing how we do math. Let's change these history books too. Like let's throw that on in there as well. And William Sweater's comment right here before we wrap up.
I feel you, Will.
Who's going down as the worst president in history?
I didn't even know he was the president.
Kyle Johnson. The big thing about the impeachment is that he wouldn't be able to run for public office.
That's only if he's convicted, Kyle.
So
only if he's convicted.
And I'm glad he said that, because I was unsure about that, and I was having a conversation earlier about if he gets impeached, the reason why they're so adamant on trying to do it now is so he can't try to run again in 2024.
No, it's only if he's convicted. So, they have been speaking on that a lot. On the news.
Yeah, so man, we need to get 45 impeached.
But what's gonna hurt? Like, I mean, I think the chances are better now, but I'd just be surprised to see like how many Republican senators, he gets in their ear, because to be honest with you, his following is not gonna stop. He's got 74 million something followers, right? So if he gets in their ear and he still tells them like, okay, when you go to get reelected, when you go to campaign, I will come and support you.
Got you.
He's still gonna he still is gonna have a major influence on them getting reelected.
But there can be laws that can be put into place while Biden's in office that has certain type of standards. I mean, they changing stuff. Look how fast they replaced RBG. They do what they want to do. There's things that we can vote in more.
But did you really see the numbers of how many Republicans, even in the House, even though there was more, did you see how many Republicans voted not to impeach still? Like, I mean,
but their excuse is we're scared for our families' lives and something may happen. That could be true and it cannot be true. It could just be what they're hiding behind because of what happened.
I mean, it might be true. That man could, if he just says it, like, people are going to do it. You see it.
And that's why these convictions with these people that was at the Capitol, they have got the what was it? The district attorney. Hey, he ain't playing.
Bro, they not even Republicans. Like, I don't even view them as Republicans. They what they call it? Trumpeteers.
Republicans.
Yeah, because that's like, bro, they have turned on, like, if that man says this man is terrible, they'll turn on him, and they Republicans. Just like they was talking about hang Mike Pence, like,
thought that was your boy.
Bro, what? Like, to hang on one man, like Kyle said, man, like the cult atmosphere of that is just, oh God, it's sickening almost, like, for someone to follow man like that. Like,
and we live in Kentucky, and that's the crazy thing about where we live at.
Man, that's why I say, man, you got to be, especially living somewhere like here in Kentucky, you got to, I would definitely, because I think it's going to be people that's just going to be trying to make a name for themselves out doing something stupid, or just trying to prove a point, or just, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It ain't going to be everybody, but then at the same time, I think this has been really good, because I think a lot of people have been evaluating who's around them, who their friends are, who's on Facebook. Like, I've heard a lot of people say, I'm gonna unfollow this person because it is. And I mean, I can't even get mad at nobody, right? Protect your peace, protect your energy.
Yeah.
And if you got someone who you feel like is, I mean, because anybody can smile in your face, and then, you could, it's no different from somebody saying, like, and I'm gonna use this example just of way back in the days, well, he's a good nigga.
Yeah.
Right. Like, he's one of the good niggas. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Anybody can kind of use that. Like, oh yeah, he's one of the good ones though. Like, what do you mean? I'm one of the good ones. Like, come on, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
and I think people, like, guys, I think the most important things that you can do for yourself is to educate yourself and your kids. And, they're not going to do it for us. We got to do it ourselves and really understand what it is that we fighting against. I've learned so much through this presidency. Like, it's forced me to be able to understand and learn, because I didn't know. I was just like, oh, whatever. You know what I'm saying? If I vote, never until this term did I vote in the primary elections, because I didn't understand,
what type of effect
that it's not just about the presidents. That's why we have checks and balances,
because the president's hands could be tied.
So
the Senate is,
listen,
the Senate in that house where they passed the law. But then, like you said too, the Supreme Court was very, very important, and that's why Trump did what he did.
He appointed the most.
Because he thought that it would benefit him in a situation like this. But to see someone, man, like, to always hear about his business dealings and how they were all kind of shady, how he avoided, tax, the tax evasion and stuff like that. To hear that, and then to know that he's going in office, and then you just, like, you see, like, everything's starting to look the same. Like, he's doing sketchy stuff. Everything looks sketchy, but it's just amazing to me how people have turned that into, let's go back to being great again. This is the real America. Like, I don't know what America you live in.
When was it great?
That has never been, for me, but.
We're not going back to 1766.
No, we're not.
We ain't even going back to 1976. Yeah. Like, we ain't even going back that far.
But they trying though.
I know they trying. They're putting up a good fight. But man, we appreciate everybody who kicked it and joined with us today. And you know what I'm saying? You can hear the soft melody tunes in the background.
Join with us today.
Is that what I said? Man, I hate y'all, man. I'm out of here. Y'all go and finish the show, man. I'm gonna just mind my business.
Oh.
Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead. Do your thing. Go ahead.
I don't know about y'all, but I had a good day today.
Did you?
I appreciate everybody. I went and got a massage today, me and my daughter.
Okay.
Matter of fact, hey y'all, check out Rest Assured massage. Yeah.
What's it called?
Rest Assured.
Rest Assured massage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, you know somebody in there?
Yes, my peoples.
Can I get a discount?
Yeah, it's my peoples.
Okay,
I got you. Yeah.
I'll be in there getting a discount, you know.
I'm feeling good already. You know, all this tension.
They just got some free publicity, so I'm gonna be in there getting a massage. But yeah, we do appreciate everybody who tuned in today. Everybody who's still currently watching, please hit that share button. Take 5 seconds and hit that share button. Jarvis, you got something you want to say before we get out here, man?
Man, just like you said, man, anybody who wants to have a healthy debate about it and just, you know, some healthy dialogue, really, you know, I don't even really like to say debate, a healthy dialogue, so I can have some understanding of why you feel the way you feel. Please hit us up. Let's get them on the show.
Yeah.
You know, and I know it's 3 of us. I don't want that to be intimidating.
That's why I said I don't want them to feel like we attacking them or jumping them. Yeah.
You know,
bring
your people.
Yeah. Bring your people. Bring your people.
Bring your people's then.
But I really do want to have some understanding. It don't matter whether you're white or black to me. I really want to have some understanding of why you feel the way you do about it.
But sometimes you're just never gonna understand ignorance. And I don't say that trying to be mean, but some people are just ignorant. And there's no understanding that, trying to rationalize their thoughts when it comes to ignorance.
You know what, that makes sense because
it's going to.
That's how they think about us. They're never going to understand us. So
but the biggest difference is, right, when you're dealing with like this now, right? Like everything's turned into a big racial issue, right? But the biggest difference for us is, like, you know, for most of us is we can't. Yeah, you're right, bro. Like, you creating racism or division is a deal breaker for us.
Mm-hmm.
That's a deal breaker because we, like you said, we're not going back there, bro. Like, we're not going back there. So that is a deal breaker for us. So, I mean, it don't matter. You can tell me you're going to put $2,000 in my pocket every month, but if you create this type of behavior to where I know these people feel comfortable hating me and possibly wanting to hurt me, do harm to me, that's a deal breaker.
Yeah, we can't do it.
Yeah, we can't do
like $2,000 ain't gonna, you know, I ain't gonna sell out for that.
Nah, he won't. I will. But see, you got something you'll say before we get on the matter. Man, I don't think I'll take it. Child support don't take 2,000. Shit, we might be talking. But go ahead, Tina.
So check us out. We just getting started back in the new year, so I know things are a little slow. Our shows are normally gonna be on Thursdays, 6 o'clock, unless Jarvis changes the time. That's the time. We anticipate on having the shows on Thursdays.
Oh, that was on time. That was on time. It was perfect.
Hey, that'd be trying to
That was perfect. That was perfect.
Hey, so that is the time. Yeah, y'all know black people. He only have black. He's still
have black, man. Come on.
But nah, man, listen, we enjoy you guys. We really want to build our content and build our followers back up.
Yeah.
We really want to be able to do something that Lexington, not just Lexington, but Kentucky can be proud of us, period. So we want to make a way, make everybody's voice heard, not just ours.
Yeah. Yo, and if y'all know anybody with a business that's trying to promote, get at us, because
for sure.
You know, we want to be able to help out our community too. And
what else?
A partnership.
Any writers out there when it comes to skits or anything? Inboxes. Inboxes.
Yeah.
You got any writers?
Yeah, got any writers out there? Anybody who's trying to create content out there, hit us up.
Got something special coming.
Jarvis is going to have some things that he's trying to do here shortly. So we have a lot of opportunities for people, but only if you're ready and willing to work. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, we get ready to get on out here. Appreciate everybody who tuned in. Like I said, make sure you like, share the show. Make sure you add somebody to the group. Matter of fact, make sure y'all start communicating and talking and posting in that group. But we get ready to get on out here. We want you to treat somebody how you want somebody to treat your mama. We out of here.